Gracie.
And Tom.
And this is something to celebrate. Thank you for joining us today. It's the first August.
Yeah.
It's
wow.
the first,
Yeah.
It's the first August in
2019. Yeah.
I think I only have like 2 or 3 shows left with you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
so shoot! Oh, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Oh God.
No, don't do that.
I'm having some, really.
I gotta tell you now so that it's not like the last show and I'm like, by the way, this is my last show.
Well, that's horrible.
Then you're
So,
not like ready.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like when I've been kind of cleaning up Saffron's room for college. No, I'm like cleaning up Saffron's room so we can use it after she goes to college.
I definitely I went home to visit and my mom had like office stuff. Like my room was still my room, but my desk was being used for office space, which I was like, honestly, why not? You need to.
Well, it was so funny because I know this may be a TMI moment, but we got through cleaning up Saf's floor, and the dogs decided to go in there and do their business.
So like now that it's free.
Now that they can see the floor.
That's a
I was
move.
like, that was like after your
I've had
intense
some
cleaning.
massive cleaning expeditions where I have to clear the floor and there's
Yeah.
like trails leading to like the bathroom and like the door and yeah.
Yeah. So even after this time, there will be still crap on the floor in Saf's room. That's just inevitable.
decided.
The dogs have taken over. The dogs have taken over for the college student.
Wow.
So
Oh, man.
that's just kind of a weird segue to the word of the day, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and actually it kind of relates. The word of the day is an old Scottish term, gardyloo.
Oh wow.
Gardy-loo.
Yeah, and
Gardyloo.
probably your big hint there
That's
is the
probably
word
how you say
loo,
it.
Yes.
which is kind of a British term for a bathroom. The definition is a funny and gross one. This is what people living in Edinburgh sounded out their windows as a warning before dumping their slop buckets out of the windows.
Wow.
At least,
Gardy-loo.
yeah, at least they.
Can you just
know,
imagine
and
like walking through the streets like
Yeah.
already like
Oh,
filthy
yeah,
and then there's
that's-
like laundry and people are screaming and people are like, gardy-loo. What's happening?
Yes. Everybody duck.
I stumble off the TARDIS. I'm like, what am
I wonder if there was a countdown after that. Like you had time to clear,
No,
the area.
I feel like what's the word like Eddie Lou in
Yeah.
a Scottish timbre. There's no.
Gardyloo.
Gardy-loo.
You've been warned. Get out of the way.
Oh my word.
So as I said, the perfect segue.
Yeah. On the floor
Please
to the
say that our
bucket.
natural solution is like
Digestive.
a bowel cleanser or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I need it.
Yes, Tom. What is our natural solution?
Well, today we're talking about nitric oxide boost. This product is an overall heart healthy supplement. Relaxes blood vessels, improves circulation, controls cholesterol and blood sugar levels. And you can get nitric oxide boost at www.naturalsolutionstore.bz.
Your heart health is important. It's just not as exciting as like
Yes.
a bowel cleanser. I'm just saying.
Not as exciting as Gardyloo.
Gardy-loo.
Colon health is important, you
gonna-
guys.
I should teach the dogs to say Gardy-loo in barking.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm sure that they definitely could do that for you.
Yeah,
Make
so-
that happen.
Yeah, that's exciting. So we are celebrating the month of August. Tell us what we're
Well, yeah, this
celebrating.
is a new month, and it's got some fun stuff. So all month, this is Admit You're Happy Month.
Wow.
Learn Japanese Month.
Wow. Okay.
And for some of us here in the Ozarks, this is really cool. National Catfish Month.
Catfish is real good.
I never thought I would like catfish, but my friend J.R. Taylor kind of got me onto that.
Yeah.
Now there's a couple of places around here that just serve
I
really,
never had
really
catfish
great
till I moved to
catfish.
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
I was like thinking about the words you were saying when I was saying my words, so then no words happened.
Yeah.
But Arkansas.
Learn Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned. I can probably say, Ohayou gozaimasu. In Japanese.
Ikitakimasu, which is what you say before you eat. My mom used to we had a Japanese exchange student, so my mom used to take the words and make them Englishified. And I was like, this is probably not cool, but
Yeah.
our exchange student thought it was funny, so I guess
Yeah.
it's fine.
Well, it's so funny because when I was in the Philippines, they told me how to say thank you, and they said you take a piece of salami and you slap it on a mat, salamat. So I just taught somebody Filipino or Tagalog, so salamat,
Salamat.
and in Japanese.
Ikitakimasu
Easy
is
to-
before you eat. I think thank you is, I don't remember what thank you is.
Okay, well, on that little segue.
I know
of
doy is a
learning-
must day. I don't know how to, what that means, though.
Segue of learning.
Yeah, be careful. You never know what you're saying.
I honestly don't. I
Over
have
the
lots
air.
of, I have like lots of Japanese words just like hanging out. in my head
Yeah,
for
well,
no
that's
reason.
why my daughter, my 12-year-old loves K-pop, and she'll just start singing. I'm really impressed until I think about what she might be saying.
It's probably just like I love you, don't leave me. You know, if it's anything
Exactly.
like regular pop music, it's probably not too awful.
That's awesome. Okay, what else are we celebrating?
Well, today,
on?
August 6th, is Farm Worker Appreciation Day. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I used to bale hay and combine wheat and harvest corn and stuff back in Ohio.
Oh, that's awesome.
National
That's where it's
Fresh
at,
Breath
Ohio.
Day. Yeah, Ohio.
Fresh Breath Day.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I missed this. National Root Beer Float Day.
Oh.
And today is Wiggle Your Toes Day.
Oh, wow. Wiggle.
Bear.
Are we wiggling? I have closed-toed shoes.
I think everyone does.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
I
yeah.
almost wore sandals, and then I was like, nah.
Okay.
And on this day in 1965, the Voting Rights Act becomes law in the United States. President Lyndon Johnson signed it. It prohibited discrimination in voting.
Oh, that's like really, really important.
And a sad event on this day. This is really nothing to celebrate, but it is something to commemorate. This day in 1945 was when the first atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima.
Wow.
So 150,000 people were estimated killed by that explosion. And so
Wow.
Japan had joined the World War II in December of 1941 on the side of the Axis powers after Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings 3 days later on August 9. Japan surrendered to the Allies and ended the Pacific War.
Wow.
And on this day in 1928, Andy Warhol, the American artist. And I didn't realize this. I did a little bit of research, and he's a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania
wow.
native, and
I had no idea.
went to the same school that my first university, Carnegie Mellon University,
Oh, wow.
right there in Pittsburgh, and graduated. He didn't go there to study just regular art. He went there to study commercial art.
Yeah.
He got
Wow.
his degree in that.
Because he's like modern art, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
modern
Yeah,
art.
My friend's a really big fan of his.
So cutting edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of pop culture.
And some
pop
of the
art.
most expensive paintings sold are Andy Warhol
Yes.
paintings.
And, they're like, cans of Coke and stuff
Yeah.
like that. They're just really.
Campbell Soup, is
Campbell
one of the
soup,
classic.
Campbell soup, yeah.
1911, Lucille Ball was born. And in 1809, Alfred Lord Tennyson
Oh, yeah.
was born. And the one poem of his, he wrote many poems and some other literary works, but the Charge of the Light Brigade
Oh,
is
yes.
the one that I remember memorizing in junior high school.
Can you recite it for us now?
No,
he just remembers having to memorize.
there's not a reason why, there's but to do and die.
There you go. I
There
mean,
you go.
what's
It's
the
great.
appetite? Now you
Yeah.
can go read it.
That's
Into the
about as-
Valley of Death, Road to 600.
That's
Oh, yeah,
about
the
as how
600.
much is Brit Lit that I remember is like one-liners.
I
Yeah.
loved my British lit teacher was so cool, Mrs.
Yeah.
Muggy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mrs. Muggy. Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting. Well, we do have a Say Grace segment, but we also have a tasting. I think we should do, because this is your big project, Gracie, I think we should just give it some time. So we'll just have the coffee over your burgers.
Yeah.
I guess coffee before burgers. So, okay,
Well,
so
we're talking about burgers and burgers today.
burgers and
upon
burgers and fish.
Yeah. So
No, I'm just trying. Okay, so
Barista
I
it
have
up.
Matt. I'm going to welcome Matt to the table for our coffee communion today. Can you come to the table? You don't need to play that yet.
Okay.
So you're good. We'll give you a, we're
You're
gonna
good.
set it up, and we're doing this. It's a new thing.
Get Mr. Producer over
Mr.
here.
Producer, he needs to come in on the tasting. Okay, so this, I'm taking my, okay.
Speak into the mic, Amber.
I know. Well, I'm trying to do that and pour.
I'm gonna get a little closer here, Tom.
Okay. Okay. So this is the thing. Okay. So these are, you know how Starbucks does all these crazy drinks, and drinks that you don't think should be existing in the world. So this is the new salted caramel cold brew.
I don't need that
Nitro.
much.
Oh, sorry. I don't want to send you into a heart attack here.
Yeah, I won't have that, but I just don't need that much.
Do you want to taste?
No.
No. Okay. This is probably anti what everything Tom's
Smells
about.
so good. I love coffee.
Okay.
Oh, do
Oh,
I
yeah.
want it? Yes, I do want it.
There's not very much sugar in it either.
Yeah. It's very salty.
It's
It has
very
this
good.
like
I like
salt
it.
edge, but not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I love the taste of coffee. It just every time I drink it,
It's not like
my
you're
heart's
licking a
like,
salt lick.
Yep. You know, it's funny. It's like you don't, sweet with salt. I never associated it with being good.
Now that
So
comes
sweet.
with like 2 shots of espresso with
Yeah,
it,
it
doesn't
does. It does. Okay.
Well, I'm supposed to go to sleep as soon as I get home today. Does it work tonight?
Hardy har.
Okay. So, the classic Frappuccino. I'm gonna have to spoon this because it's not. We're gonna end up with like mustaches. No, you're gonna end up with more mustache, Matt. I gotta dig to the
It'll
bottom.
match the gray in my beard, I think.
There you go. Okay.
So this is basically all frothed up stuff.
Yeah, it is the coconut caramel or coconut pie frappuccino.
oh my gosh,
Coconut pie.
that sounds so exciting.
Okay, so
There's a second
is
cup in there.
frappuccino real coffee? I just wondered. It's not really. It's like frothy frappuccinos.
That's
Okay.
really exciting. And
Okay, what do
and
you think?
tasty.
Now I like the first one better, but this isn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not super heavy. It's got a light, crispy taste to it.
Yeah.
Now does that have?
I like crispy taste.
Co-
I've never heard coffee
coconut
described
pie.
as crispy.
It has coconut milk in it. It has actual physical coconut milk. So I don't know.
Yeah, I always get my Starbucks drinks with coconut milk because I like it.
Mm-hmm.
You get the, I get the I think it's the velvet. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
very very hibiscus with coconut milk.
Now, I don't normally get the Frappuccino because Frappuccinos are like 1,000,000 calories. Like, they're the day's worth of calories in a Frappuccino.
That's crazy.
I know.
It's because of all the fat in the milk and the
Yeah,
cream.
cream. Okay. So this is like what I've been dying to try, actually. This is the iced mocha cloud. Have you heard of this, Matt?
No.
Oh, the ice or the cloud milk.
Looks like you've already had a few
Colorado?
sips out of it.
No, we
Oh,
were
no?
thinking about this, and we were saying this is what you get with a Starbucks cup when you do venti. So I'll tell you a little bit about this one.
For those of you who don't know, venti is the same as large.
Yeah,
I
20
just want to be
ounce.
difficult.
Venti,
Venti,
is
it makes you
Italian
sound
for
pop.
20.
But I think if you say large, they're not gonna like execute
Here, I won't
you.
give you that much.
I mean,
Okay,
it's happened to me and I've been fine.
so this actually has egg in it.
I'm
this
really excited
coffee.
to try this.
Really?
Yeah, it has egg. So, yeah, and just
My friends have tried this and they like it, so
That's good and strong. It's not as strong as we make the
It
coffee
is-
here.
yeah.
I'm wondering if it's what makes
This
it
will
creamy.
grow hair on your chest
Well,
if you don't want it.
I'm pretty sure. So if you're a lady and don't drink this because you don't want hair on your chest, or just buy a bunch of razors, I guess.
You tell me
Or
that
hair on your
now.
face. Oh goodness.
Tell
Oh
me
yeah,
that
that is
now.
really really strong. Can you taste any difference with the egg?
It has a bit of a richness to it that's
Yeah.
different. It's mildly different. It's very subtle.
Yeah.
Of course, now I'm all
almost feel
shaken.
like for the difference of that, does it even matter?
Yeah.
You guys,
Sorry, I bring the tea here. I know we're drinking coffee, but I only
You're
serve
so
tea.
you're just trying to bring us down. Is it worth it? I don't know. Does the protein of the egg balance off the sugar?
I'm sure there's not enough egg to count for it.
I don't know. Yeah, I'd like to kind of just know how.
Because eggs, I mean, they have protein, but it's not like It's not like
Yeah.
they're packed with protein. Like certain eggs have more, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm not a nutritionist, so
I
don't know.
wonder if they'll start doing this with the coffee. How many grams of protein, like they do with the
Can
Brahms
they
shakes?
afford to? I mean, eggs are kind of expensive.
Yeah.
So.
You know, at Brahms, they now tell you how much protein is in a chocolate milkshake, so you know or feel you're being healthy. So, who knows how much protein is in this? But I think I'll just try that, see and check that out. So, as far as the brews here, what do you like, Matt?
I like that last one.
You do?
Yeah,
Because it
really strong.
really strong coffee.
I would probably add another couple shots of espresso to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But that's because I'm
Yeah, they all taste
Kind of
good
addicted
to
to
me.
coffee.
Most coffee tastes the same to me, honestly.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I can get coffee at one place or the other, and it'll taste the
It
same.
makes you wonder.
But I'm not a coffee snob by any means.
The
so.
first person to ever drink coffee, who said, "Oh, that smells good. I'd like to brew that." What do you think was going through their mind when they took their first sip of it?
Ew, it's like,
Like,
oh my gosh.
ugh, man, this
Uh,
is horribly great.
Yeah, it's so funny because my husband says
What a caffeine
sometimes
rush they
when
probably had.
when you're going by a coffee shop, there's just a small differentiation between the smell of freshly ground coffee and the smell of freshly killed skunk. He says that. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Is he like an exterminator? Like,
no, there really is some coffees that are a certain type and certain strength. Whenever they first start brewing, it does smell kind of like a skunk,
Yeah.
or like someone smoking a joint in the back room. So
well, you never know.
We wouldn't know about that.
Yeah.
well, I lived in Colorado, so
Actually, I did live in
won't
a
weigh
college
in
dorm for a while.
because
that
I
whole
do.
state probably smells like weed.
Well,
They have a good time.
Yeah. I picked up people from the airport from Colorado, and their eyes were pretty red whenever I saw them.
Like, hey,
so
man.
Matt, I'm gonna give you your coffee of
nice.
choice, so you can take it back behind the
Now-
control panel.
Now we're getting ready to play a video
Yes.
that Gracie shot, and I'll let you explain that. But I want to tell you guys something beforehand. I've got to time this just right so they both end at the same time on Facebook and YouTube. You won't hear it right away,
Okay.
but they will.
They'll hear
You
it
won't.
right away.
I'll have to turn the volume up on the computer, and they won't hear you talking unless you want to talk over the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the age of technology.
It should be good. Well, and I was gonna say before we play Taylor's, I went to Red's last night because they opened. I waited about probably an hour and a half for my burger, but I got a
Wow.
burger.
Yeah, there's a
and
lot of people
the
there.
root beer's really good. It's
Is
very
it?
sweet. Yeah.
Did they make it
is.
themselves?
I think so. I think that was
Oh.
the thing. Is it's like house root beer or whatever. And then their fries are pretty good too.
Their
like
sign
nice
is a
home cut
cross.
fries.
I know. That's the old Red's Hamburg.
Yeah.
Christian owned and
'Cause they
operated,
ran-
probably.
Yeah.
They ran out of like they thought the
Yeah,
sign
that's
was
what-
gonna be hamburger and they like it messed. I
That's
don't know.
what Tom was there back in the day when he listened
Yep.
to Red's play
That was
the
one of our
Spoons.
favorite hangouts from the National Youth Department.
Was that back when you had to
Well,
crank
and
start your car?
The
Yeah.
inside is gorgeous. They've got some really retro like interior decoration.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm really excited for like
Like
the
a
school year
diner
to
type?
start. Yeah, because they've got these nice corner booths. So I'm really excited for the school year to start and my friends to go.
Wasn't it like the nation's
hang out
first
there.
drive-through?
It was, yeah.
Man.
So the
Lot of
drive-through was
history here in
there. I
Springfield.
probably should use the drive-through because it probably would have been faster.
Yeah, they were lined all the way down Sunshine.
Yeah,
the
it
other
was
day.
a little bit scary.
So that's kind of cool because it's one of the original Route 66 diners.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's not Route 66
no,
anymore.
no,
yeah,
because Route 66 is just really narrow right now to where a place it used to be. But it's really exciting because it's like
Yeah.
it's a taste of Springfield, like
Yeah.
old school.
It was-
like
it was really
before
crazy.
old school was a thing.
Yeah.
It was very old school.
Well, thank you
Yeah.
for the
So,
coffee.
you
I'm
wanna-
going to go ahead and go back behind the scenes here
And cue it up.
Cue it up. It's already queued up. It's ready to play. You just tell me,
Yeah.
introduce it however you're going to, and then say, play
yeah,
it.
but these really good burgers. Totally recommend it. Go out there. I haven't tried their shakes yet, but I'm going to do that in a couple weeks when it dies down a little bit. It's not so crazy. Another place that's classic to Springfield is Taylor's Steak Burgers. So I went to Taylor's because I liked to hear their story, but they weren't really able to come in. So I went ahead and grabbed a camera and went out there and did my best to put all my video classes to work. I could use.
Yes.
So original steak burger was as it stood. I have like the menu. It's very fancy, but
Yes.
has the whole so if you go in there, grab a menu, they're gonna give you. It gives you like all the history of it, which I'm not going to go through because we talked about it in the video. But it's on the corner of. It's right by the Martin Luther King Junior Bridge.
Yes,
So,
downtown.
by St. Louis Street,
and there's the Jordan Valley, and
yeah,
then there's
it's
a shrine.
catty corner to the shrine. Yeah,
The shrine. Yeah,
so
you gotta check
yeah,
that out.
and they have a very limited window. So when you go, it's like 11 to 2 every
Okay.
day for lunch.
Okay.
So they just kind of cater to that. So it's a smaller shop, but yeah, it's
19, was it 40s? It was built.
yeah,
It was built
one
in
of the
40s.
original buildings, and it's changed hands a couple times. And so the current owner kind of just tells us about that in this
Okay.
video. So
Okay. Well,
let's cue it up.
cue it
Yeah.
up.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Let's try this.
Taylor's has been here for 72 years, and one of the original Mrs. Taylor's was a Winstead. So this Taylor's is designed after the Winsteads in Kansas City, and Taylor's had it until 1975, and there was a couple between Taylor's and us for 3 years, and we came in 1978.
What would you say is the significance of Taylor's impact on the Springfield community?
Well, it was a hangout for the Central was the only high school in the 50s, and it was a hangout for that era. So the people that grew up in the area in the 50s and early 60s hung out here. They backed in and out of here and met their girlfriend, their wives, and their whatever here. I mean, we heard every day, I met my wife here, I met my husband here, and that kind of thing. It's a nostalgic place for that reason. But the business area is gone. There's not much business down here. That's why we're only here for lunch, is because anybody that does work in the area spend their lunch between 11 and 2. And so, you know, there's no businesses per se downtown to draw people downtown.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we've been here 72 years, but, you know, it's with the times. We grind our own meat every day. And, you know, we didn't change. We added things to the menu, but the meat is the big thing. We grind every day. And
Yeah.
I think we're probably the only people in town that grind the meat every day.
Yeah.
So that's a plus for us. And you can definitely tell the difference. I mean, it's not, if you go to some of the other places, it just doesn't taste the same. And we grind it every morning, and so it's fresh every day. And so it's something that not every business in town does. I mean, there's burger places in town, and there's steak burger places in town,
Yeah.
but they're still not like ours.
Exactly.
Because it's just different if you grind it fresh every day.
Yeah.
It just is. I don't know what it is, but it is.
Yeah. And the people who know that can,
Exactly.
they know, and
We
they
have
keep coming
people
back.
every day saying this is the best burger I've ever eaten, you know, and we said, well, we know that, but we might be partial, you know, we always come up with some kind of come back with it, but it is, it's very good, and it's very different, because not everybody does that, and it does have a distinct flavor.
So what's your favorite thing to eat at Taylor's?
We have a burger on the menu with ham on it.
Uh-huh.
And when I worked in the kitchen, my husband and I, when we were out there, I ate that. And so when we wanted to add a sandwich, my husband said, well, let's put that on there. And I said, well, you know, okay, but whatever. And so when people ask me what is my favorite sandwich, and I sell more burgers with ham on it, just by telling people, you know, when they say, what do you eat?
Yeah, what's your
I have to
recommendation?
have that burger with a ham on. And it's very different. It doesn't take away from the taste of the burger, and it doesn't take away from the taste of the ham. So it's unique in that way. You get both flavors, and yet it's just different. And that's what I eat.
Yeah.
Because that's what I like.
It's really fun. Yeah, I saw that when I came in. I was like, a burger with ham, that's really different.
Yes, it is.
But that sounds
But,
like
you know,
intriguing.
we do. We have people, you know, they ask me, and then every time they come in, I want that burger with the ham on it. So I've got a lot of people.
Yeah, my friend, when we came, she had the Reuben with the marbled bread and the Swiss
the
cheese.
Patty melt.
Yeah, that was really good. I was blown away
That's
by
another
that.
one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was really, really good. I like that a lot, actually. And then,
It's very good. We sell a lot of patty melts. We sell a lot of patty.
yeah, she was like, I got to come back and try their shakes, because their shakes have to be
we
amazing.
make the shakes out of hard ice cream.
Okay.
So, which is another unique thing. We don't, you know, a lot of places
Yeah.
don't do that either,
Mhm.
because it takes longer to whip them up. We make we do make several cans ahead of time so that, because if it's really busy at lunchtime, we don't have time to, you know,
Right.
pick them up because the ice cream is hard, but, we make them out of it. And it's different than the soft serve ice cream too. Just-
Yeah. Well, homemade
like the
milkshakes
old-
are always
the old-
better.
It's like the old time soda fountain. I mean, we have flavored Cokes and whatever, which is.
Yeah.
Now the machines are getting so that they have cherry and vanilla and all those, but, you know, we have the flavored drinks and the whatever, ice cream sodas. I don't know that anybody that makes an ice cream soda. And Spurts will sell several, and it's just one of those things that people in the old days knew about ice cream sodas, but it's an old time fountain thing, and people, unless they grew up in the era where you went to a fountain and had that, you're familiar with it.
Yeah. So kind of like looking forward into the future, what do you think the future looks like for you guys? Do you have any big plans?
Old enough to retire, but I'm not ready to stay home yet. My grandson is the one who works back there, and he would be the most likely to continue. For he's only 20 and he has a lot to learn. And he's been hanging out here since he was 12, so he's been around a long time.
Yeah.
And he's like I said, he shows interest. And I told him one day, I said, Grandpa would be really happy to know that you're the one that shows interest in this.
Yeah.
Him and Grandpa were fairly close when Dad was in law school. We had him over weekends, and Grandpa would take him all over the place, and they did a lot of things together. So he was close to Grandpa. So it's something that, you know, would be nice if he could continue to do it, but got an awful lot to learn. But at 20, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
As long as I'll be here as long as I can. You know, I'm not ready to stay home, so
Yeah.
I get up every day and come down here anyway.
It's too fun to stay at home. Yeah. I wouldn't.
You know,
I would
I've
have
had some
fun.
surgeries over the last 5 years, and broken pelvis. And in my recovery time, I found out that's not what I want to do. I don't want to be there 24/7. I just got my bag.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, I understand that. I would get stir
I might as
crazy.
well get here as anywhere. I mean, actually, I get here around 10 in the morning, and I don't do an awfully lot anymore. But I have about an hour when I get home, you know, checking out. I do all my own book work and whatever. So, so I have about an hour after I get home, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But, I'm not ready to be there 24/7. Actually, they put us on the historical monument type thing, us and the Shrine and the Legion, from on this corner. So it'll be here as long as I want it to be here.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean, they're not
awesome.
gonna come and take us over and whatever. So as long as we want to be here, we'll be here.
Yeah.
Because they did put us on the historical monument. So us and, like I said, us and the Legion across the street and the Shrine. So that was done probably 8 or 10 years ago, I don't know.
Yeah.
So as long as we choose to be here, we'll be here.
Yeah, that's good.
And I would like it to stay, you know, and that's another thing. Realistically, if I retire, it's not going to be here. And if I sell it, it's not going to be. They'll tear it down and put something else in.
Yeah, so you have to, if
Yeah.
you keep it in the family.
And so, realistically,
Yeah.
that's what has to be here. It won't be here.
Yeah.
And it is a nostalgic place because it has been here for 72 years.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another restaurant in town that's been here 72 years. So
Yeah.
it's so you know, in the back of my mind, I think, you know, I got to do this as long as I can.
Yeah.
Me. Like I said, when we came in '78, they didn't have fries, and my son was in kindergarten when I came down here to look at it. My husband was checking something out in Branson, and I came down here, and of course, me and that little kindergarten kid, he wanted French fries, and they said we don't have French fries, and and they didn't have a cash register. They put their tickets and the money in a bread tin, and when they got off of their ship, they checked out the bread tin. So when my husband came home, I said, honey, I looked at this place today, and you're not going to believe it. I said, they don't have French fries, and they don't have a cash register. I said, you can't believe this place. So, of course, the two things that we did immediately was put in a cash register of French fries.
Yeah.
You know, But
So you guys were not the original owners. Who were the original owners?
Taylors,
Okay.
2 brothers, and like I said, the original, one of the Mrs. Taylors was a Winstead. This
Okay.
was designed from the Winsteads in Kansas City.
Okay, so it was like one family legacy to another.
And then they sold it at 75 because the people between us and Taylor's had it 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, we've been here longer than Taylor's now.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's really
I've been here
cool.
41 years.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
And
So what made you want to buy it?
well, you know, but we've
make it
been
yours.
in the business for several years. We run Sioux City, Iowa. We had an industrial catering service and a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week place. And so when our son was born in 72, we decided we couldn't do that any longer because we couldn't work around the clock. Somebody didn't show up at 10 o'clock, you went back in, you worked all night, you worked the next day. So after my son was born, we decided that we couldn't do that anymore, so we sold that and we moved to Grinnell, Iowa. We had a maid ride, and we were there for 5.5 years. And so when we moved here, the intentions were that maybe we didn't want to get back into the restaurant business, and so we looked at several businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's what you know, that's what you know.
Yeah.
So we wound up in the restaurant business. But originally, when we moved here, the intentions was not necessarily to be back in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
It's like anything else. If that's what you've done and that's what you know, that's what you know.
Mhm.
So here we are.
I love it. It's so fun.
Here we are. So, and it's been good to us. The restaurant business has been good to us. You know, we have really no complaints. You know, but
Yeah. That's
that's
awesome.
what it is.
Pretty.
Well, thank you for that lovely video. I really feel like we've, kicked it up a notch here on the show.
Yeah, a little bit of in the field interaction kind of vibe. So, yeah, if you have more questions about that, you can go talk to Darlene. She's super cool, and she runs. It's from 11 to 2, I think. Is
Are
when
we
they're open.
are we getting an echo? Echo.
They don't hear the echo.
It's kind of awesome.
I don't hear the echo.
There we
It
go.
sounded for a few minutes. It sounded like we were in like the Grand
I thought
Canyon.
Matt knew about it, so I was just like pushing through. Like, it's fine.
Good.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Matt's been great today.
Well, we have a special guest that actually is coming on the line with us. Dr. Marla Woodmansee. She is actually based out of Branson. She has her own Christian talk show, writer, speaker, and she's going to talk to us. Oh, okay. I'm getting scared by noises today. Many
We've
noises.
had a lot of noises.
Good morning. This
Good-
is Dr. Marla.
Good morning, Dr. Marla. This is Amber.
And Tom,
Hey, Gracie.
How are you?
Welcome to Something to Celebrate. We're doing great today. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Um,
God is good.
Yes,
All
he
the time.
is. Dr. Marla, I feel like you should just take over the show now because, the radio girl, the lady, this, and she has a doctor, so that makes her more like.
She's a doctor radio person.
Yeah, doctor. Yeah, that's very intimidating, Dr. Marla. Were
Well-
you intending that?
Having a doctorate doesn't mean I'm intimidated. It just means God called me to something extremely difficult, and I cried all the way through it and said, God, why are you asking me to do this?
That's-
And he helped me all the way through it. It's all God's grace.
Oh, yeah. I
That's
know.
the best
I know
description
nothing
of a doctorate
more
I've
than
heard.
anybody else. I just follow God like everybody else does, and that for some reason that's what he led me to do.
That's
so.
awesome. Well, you are getting ready to have like a really big event besides your radio and your speaking and writing. Getting ready to have a really big event up in Branson. Tell us about that in the end of September.
Yes, we're really excited. God sometimes, like Noah, I think of Noah because I just went to the Noah's Ark encounter in Kentucky. Sometimes God will ask you to do something that you think, God, I have no idea how this is possible. But then he said, he puts those things in your heart and he puts those nudges in us by his spirit. And he says, this is what I want you to do to bring my people together in a place where they can wholeheartedly have time set aside to just be in his presence. And that is going to take place on September 20th and 21st at Branson, Missouri at the Mansion Theater.
Oh, wow.
And by God's grace, he's led Sheila Walsh,
wow.
Josh McDowell,
Oh, wow.
Lee Strobel,
Wow.
and music and ministry and speaking also will be Jason Crabb.
Oh, wow.
And what's so amazing is Jason Crabb usually travels and sings and he does concerts and all that. But Jason is going to be speaking and singing and ministering also throughout the 2-day event. So
That
it's
is
going to be
amazing.
unique for Jason Crabb. And we couldn't be more excited to host this caliber of influential Christian speakers in Branson, Missouri, coming September 20th and 21st. We're so excited, and I hope whoever's listening comes because.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing: it's a prime opportunity for people who are praying for those loved ones that they want to see saved, or they want to see them have a touch from God. You know, this is a prime opportunity for them to invite those people, because some people are intimidated the first time to walk into a church door.
Yes.
But this is a place where they can invite people, and they're going to walk in immediately and feel the Holy Spirit. They're going to feel God's presence. It's going to be God coming down to earth to meet people where they're at. Everybody has things in their life that they would like to see overcome. Like, we all have a mountain somewhere.
Yes, exactly.
And this is going to be a place where I believe God has showed me, you know, Scripture tells us that with man it's impossible, but with God all things are possible. And this is going to be a place where if you have faith, just a tiny amount of faith, like the tip of your pinky.
Yes.
If you have that much faith, and you're going to see mountains move. I mean, I believe God is just going to pour out and come down to earth during this event and just move mountains in people's lives. It's going to be awesome, and I hope people come. And they can get tickets easily, and I've lowered the price as bottom dollar, $59 for individual tickets.
That's
so for
amazing.
2 days, and then $49 for group tickets if churches want to come. We do have churches coming. $49 for groups of 10 or more, plus they get one free ticket after 10. They can get those at drmarla.org. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Well, that's such an exciting thing to hear about, especially when you think about, you know, the loved ones that you've been praying for a long time. And it's funny, Dr. Marla, that's something that God has been putting on my heart, like, you know, for your children and your children's children. And we have yet to really, truly understand the power of heritage prayer. Heritage prayer has been passed down. The saints, the grandmothers who were praying before us, the great-grandmothers, and every prayer we've prayed is multiplied. We don't even see that in eternity somewhere. And nothing goes unanswered. Nothing goes unanswered. And just as much as we love our loved ones, God loves them infinitely more than that.
That's right.
And I love it that you say that. And not getting so caught up in what you're not doing that fits kingdom standards.
Right.
What you don't do that is not fitting kingdom standards, Christ died for that. You know?
That's
you know, and I just love that you have that heart behind that. It is possible. You know what? It's not only possible for you to overcome the things you're dealing with, but in every prayer you've ever prayed it is coming true. It's coming to fruition. And Dr. Marla, tell me what brought you on this journey to want. I mean, we talked about doctorate. Tell me about how God birthed this dream in you way, way, way long ago. Because this just doesn't have to. Oh, yay! We're gonna do this. It is possible. How did God start birthing that in you?
You know, it's been a long journey. God will lead you in small steps along your journey. And years ago, I'm 50 years old now. So years ago, back when I was in my 30s, God led me to be the women's director at a church in Neosho, Missouri, a small town. And, you know, I remember when I felt the calling from God, you know, when you're in prayer with God and the Holy Spirit just like starts putting something in you and
Yes.
you're like, God, this can't be right. That's exactly how I felt. God was putting in me to be the women's director. And I was like, God, I am not qualified for that. Like, what? And I
Yes.
can remember just thinking overwhelmed, like, I'm not good enough. I'm not qualified. How can I do that? And then God, I felt in my spirit, spoke right back to me and said, you don't have to be qualified. You don't have to be good enough. All you have to do is love people.
Wow.
He said, you go love people and I'll take care of the rest. And that was the beginning of a journey with God that I learned that if you just follow God with all your heart, He's going to put you where you need to be. He's going to make things happen.
Exactly.
And during that time of being the women's director, all I did was what God said. I loved on people. He led us to have small conferences in that church. He led us to do all kinds of things to just love on women, bless
Exactly.
women. We'd
Wow.
have, it just kept growing and growing. And then God led my husband and I to move to Branson in 2010. And I left that kind of growing ministry to come to Branson, and nothing happened. I was like, God, I do not understand this. So I had a little Bible study in my community and loved on people.
Yes.
And that led me to be on the radio. God opened a door supernaturally to be on the radio here in Branson. My husband had said for 2 years, you should talk about the Lord on the radio. I was like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know where to go to do that. And then one day I went into a building on an appointment for a different appointment in a building where the radio station is. And that lady said, I want you to meet the owner of the radio station. She said, you know, I think you should be on the radio.
Wow.
Exactly what my husband kept saying for 2 years. And within 30 minutes, the owner of the radio station invited me to come and have a show. And, you know, that was something I didn't even see coming, except other than my husband saying it, but it just kind of dropped in my lap. And as I was on the radio, people started saying to me, well, first of all, another lady, a couple other ladies and I hosted a local women's conference at a church here in Branson a few years in a row at Gary McSpadden's church.
Yeah.
If you know Gary McSpadden. And then that kind of ended. And then people were saying, when are you going to host a conference in Branson?
Wow.
When are you going to do one? And then I just felt the Holy Spirit say, you know what? And I had a formalized ministry where I had a board, and God led me to do some things for a non-for-profit so we could help people through the non-for-profit to find the Lord and fulfill their lives through Him. But then I felt the Holy Spirit say, it is time for you to do a conference.
Wow. That's amazing.
And then He led me to invite the speakers I have now. And God just leads me and I follow, and I still to this point don't know half the time what I'm doing. I just like follow God every day and say, God, show me how to do this. I mean,
exactly.
And this conference, I mean, is going to glorify God in such an amazing way. And the title, It Is Possible, is what He gave me, because really everything in my life has been like an impossibility becoming possible. I was orphaned as a baby.
Wow.
Nobody wanted me, and I went into foster care for 3 months. And so it was possible for me to then go into a family and find a home. Then later in life, it was almost impossible for me to be healed from a brain tumor. And yet God healed me supernaturally. It was like impossible when I was a single mom with 2 little children at one time to get food. And God supernaturally had someone's number call me and say, hey, can I take you grocery shopping and fill up your cupboards?
Wow.
It seemed impossible for me to ever remarry and have a wonderful godly mate and have more children. And yet God brought an amazing godly Christian man into my life. At church we met, and then we had 2 more children, and we've raised 4 children. So, I mean, God has constantly showed me that with man it's impossible, but with God all things are possible. So it's just really fitting that my title of my conference would be, It Is Possible, to this Branson Summit, because God can do amazing things in people's lives.
It is really, Dr. Marla, I think that, you know, I know God is challenging. And when we started this radio show, Tom, you had the director of the ministry saying, keeps telling you need to do a radio show.
Yeah, he approached me several times, and I kept saying no.
And all of a sudden you couldn't say no anymore, and it really, honestly, you never know. And sometimes and actually in all times, it's a real leap of faith, because you're like, God, I hope this works, because I'm just moving. And I think that's where faith is. It wouldn't it wouldn't take any faith to just, to not to be like a very, very like scholarly person and pursue your theology degree, and have all the, feeling like you have all the right stuff. Right. And I think that it's a beautiful thing when you just, as you said it, I didn't know. It was impossible, but God stepped in.
Right. Although academia does take some supernatural stuff, let me tell you. I'm only taking my bachelor's, and I'm like, Lord.
Well, let me tell you what. I can remember the very first day I was going to the seminary. And you guys will think this is funny. I don't know how old you all are, but, I just told you I'm 50. Well, this was back in, 2007.
Yes.
When I was going to get my master's degree. I hadn't been in college in a very long time, and
yes.
I graduated to be a school teacher, and I was a school teacher for a while, and then I hadn't been in school for years. I mean, I had two small children, and so now when I was going back to school to seminary to get a master's degree in theology, things had changed, and everybody had a laptop. Well, I didn't know how to open a laptop. I didn't know how to start a laptop.
Yeah.
So my biggest anxiety going to seminary was, God, I do not know how to run a laptop.
Yeah.
And I can remember being so anxious in my flesh about going to seminary to work a laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And then also God, you want me to go to seminary? I mean, if anybody would look at me, they'd go, that is not the look of a seminary person at all. I'm blonde, blue-eyed, wear lots of makeup. And so I was like, God, I do not fit in with the seminary type of people. But yet God kept dealing with me and showing me, I'm going to download stuff in your life. Just follow me, trust me, go to seminary. I'm going to download stuff in your life. And anyway, I had a lady from my church come over and help me learn how to run a laptop.
Wow.
And then I just said, God, I had to take those thoughts captive, because in my flesh, I was like, God, I don't know how to do any of this.
Yeah.
But yet I knew 2 Timothy 1:7 says, I don't have a spirit of fear,
yes,
but of power, love, and a sound mind. And I would just tell myself that, God, you're covering me. God, you're going to help me. It's going to be okay.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, getting a master's degree and then God led me to a doctorate, I mean, as overwhelming as that seems, and yes, it was overwhelming, I just felt like God says daily, trust me, daily follow me. I will, if you just follow me and trust me with all your heart, acknowledge me in all your ways, I will direct your footsteps. Just daily trust me.
Exactly.
I'll give you what you need tomorrow.
Exactly.
I'll give you what you need today. So it's just a daily step of faith and saying, God, whatever it is you want me to do, that's what I'll do. It's all about your kingdom. It's all about helping others find that peace and joy that only God can give you.
Yeah, it's so funny because I remember when I graduated from college, I remember my computer class was WordPerfect 5.1. That was my college.
We don't even have computer class. I mean, if you're computer major, if you're a computer science major.
But this was operating
they all just assume you know how to use one when you go
to
college.
I know. And then when I tell you what, the thing about feeling like when you've been away from it for a while, my daughter's, one of my youngest, who was 11 at the time, she told me, she said, Mom, you didn't learn how to use PowerPoint in kindergarten? I said,
I didn't even learn how to use PowerPoint in kindergarten.
I told her, well, at least I learned how to tie my shoes.
That is so true. My youngest child had the hardest time tying shoes because all these shoes were just like Velcro and stuff. I didn't think she's ever going to learn how to tie her shoe.
Well,
nowadays I've noticed I have 4 children. 2 are grown and two are teenagers. And it's funny because my 2 grown ones know how to type or write in cursive. My
Yes.
younger 2 can't even hardly read, let alone write in cursive. I'm like,
Yes.
what is wrong with this system that everybody's computerized?
Well, yeah, and
You
that's
know?
and that's the
Makes
thing
me
is,
uncomfortable. I like cursive, even though I'm like my handwriting is off. It looks like doctor handwriting. You don't
Yeah.
even know what it is.
Well, no, the thing it is beautiful is the challenges that we had and the things that we learned. So much so that it's different with each generation. But you know what? We have the stuff. We have the stuff inside of our and God empowers whatever giftings that maybe even lie dormant in you, because we never know. Before, I always tell somebody, talk about my story. Before I had a very severe mental health breakdown, I couldn't do graphic design. Now I do graphic design. What did God do there? And I think that there is God pulls the trigger in you at the right moment to bridge the gap between where you are and where He needs you to be. And I believe that.
Yes,
And whether it is with a person like Tom is like the bridger of the gap for my skills. And sometimes those people are outside yourself, but He pulls those triggers at the God ordained time that you need to walk forward. And I think it's a beautiful thing when everything falls into place at the right time, at God's timing, not necessarily all at once, but as you said, in the path of where God wants to take you.
Yeah.
He leads you and enables your gift. Tom, do you have one final thing you would like to ask Dr. Marla?
Well, I would just like to ask her to remind us of how we can connect with you. And I understand you have some TV stuff that you do and some radio podcasts. So just tell us how we can connect with you that way.
Well, thank you, Tom. Nice to meet you too. I have different things going on. God has led me into TV ministry, and I've been filming at different places like Sight and Sound Theater. I just interviewed the owner not long ago, and I interviewed Samson and the villain. And then I spoke a message at the Sight and Sound Theater about Samson. So yeah, all these things I'm doing, you can get connected with me at drmarla.org.
And that's drmarla.org.
Yes,
correct?
drmarla.org. And that's where you can also get tickets to the Branson Summit coming up. I mean, Sheila Walsh is amazing. She's coming. Lee Strobel has never spoken in Branson. Everybody's so excited about Lee Strobel coming. Josh McDowell has written like over 152 books. I just interviewed him for TV not long ago. I said, you have like, what, 150 books? He said, no, 152. I was like, okay, 152 books. He's coming. And then, of course, everybody loves Jason Crabb.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
And I interviewed him. And I'm going to be interviewing those people also on stage. So
that's
it's not
awesome.
Just, they're going to be speaking. But then also there's going to be an interview session time where you get to know the people a little more. And it's really amazing. They're all good friends.
Yes.
It's amazing how they became good friends. You're going to find out some details about their lives, and it's going to be empowering, inspirational, but yet it's also going to be like, wow, these are just normal people that God just like you and I and everybody listening. It's a daily just walk by faith. God, what do you want me to do today? How do you want me to bless people? That's exactly what they did. And then God just catapulted them into a place where they can influence a lot more people for the kingdom. So
that's awesome.
It's going to be exciting.
Well, we're running out of time. Thank you so much, Dr. Marla, for joining us today. Appreciate
My
it so
pleasure.
much. So drmarla.org. You have a great day.
Listen, if could I give away a couple of tickets?
Yes.
So if someone listening would like 2 free tickets, I'll take the third caller.
Okay.
And here's the phone number. Are you ready?
Okay.
417-598-2577.
So
the third caller we're going to give away tickets to.
2
free tickets. 417-598-2577. We'll give away 2 free tickets to the Branson Summit September 20th and 21st.
Okay, that's awesome. So we'll post that number in the comments below. But thank you so much. Grab those tickets, people.
Thank you.
Take care. Well,
Okay, you too. God bless.
God bless you. Goodness. Well, we're right at the cusp of needing to
Yep.
go, which is sad. But
Ran a little late, but we started a little late, so
yeah,
we're
we
good.
did. Well, until next time, this is Amber
This is Gracie.
And Tom.
saying step into the sunshine and find something to celebrate today.